lot of corporations give that lip service, but we live and breathe it in our company.
Yes.
And so for us, it's just a matter of continuing it on, growing it, collaboration, sharing, and just working with each other to help each other out and grow everyone's businesses.
Yeah. Hi everybody, welcome back to another Workout Wednesday for the month of December. For this first week, we have a very special guest, one of our managing brokers, Thomas Belz, out of the Mandarin office. Thomas, welcome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, let's hop into the first question.
Sure.
Same each time. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. It can be what were you doing before you got into real estate, how did you get into real estate, and then how has that journey in real estate been?
Absolutely. Prior to being in real estate, I was a professional chef. For about, 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Working here locally in Atlanta, and then my last stop was in Las Vegas. And then in 2012, I transitioned and I was a stay-at-home dad. Stay-at-home dad for my boys until 2017.
Yeah.
My youngest went to kindergarten, and I didn't want to sit around the house by myself anymore. And I said, well, let me give this real estate thing a shot. And here we are, 7 years later.
Awesome. So like most of our executives, you were a real estate agent before becoming a managing broker. What's been the biggest difference you've noticed since making that transition?
I would say thinking more outwardly, right?
Okay.
As an agent, you're thinking about your clients and what you can do for them, but you're thinking mostly about what you can do to market yourself and grow your business.
Yeah.
In this role, myself and the other Berkshire brokers, we're non-compete. So our main interest is in helping our agents grow their businesses. Everybody's going to have a different definition of success.
Okay.
What can we as agents do to help people get there?
Awesome. I like that. Everybody has different definitions of success. We'll touch on that in just a little bit. Being a new broker, what has been the office culture that you are trying to kind of foster?
I think it's just continuing more than fostering.
Yeah.
Linda, the previous broker here, established a great culture. I think our company as a whole has an amazing culture. I think a lot of corporations give that lip service, but we live and breathe it in our company.
Yes.
And so for us, it's just a matter of continuing it on, growing it. Collaboration, sharing, and just working with each other to help each other out and grow everyone's businesses.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. That not trying to dog any other brokerage,
no,
but
not at all.
Definitely, we stand behind a lot of what we say here. It's very telling to see a lot of people do what they're going to say when they've said it, especially with our leadership too.
Yeah,
I think just working alongside both Ann King, Joe Hatton, and Linda Shearer, and now Linda Benson as she's transitioned to the corporate office is very interesting just to see all of them, how they interact with each other every day. I mean, it's not every day that you can just walk straight into the president's office with a question and she's going to answer it.
That's right.
That she's not even on like some different floor in like a C-suite. I mean, it's open to her policy. You can walk in and ask any of them a question. They'll be more than willing to answer it.
Yep. And that starts at the top, and I think that goes, and that example of leadership goes to all of us.
Very true. 100%. Now, a broker is often seen as that supportive guide for a real estate agent. How do you strike the balance between offering that guidance and still letting your agents have the independence of like developing their own path?
Everyone is, well, let me backtrack. The most wonderful thing about this, one of the most wonderful things about the real estate industry is that you can create your own business. If you're comfortable and you're a retiree and you're like, I don't want to sell any more than 5 houses a year, or you're a super A type personality and you're like, I need to do $30 million a year in volume to be happy, right? Everyone's going to have, as we said, a different definition of what that success is. So I like to meet with the agents. Where do you want to be next year? Where do you feel your strengths are? Where do you feel your weaknesses are? And how can we get to that point you want to be together?
Awesome. So kind of one thing I've definitely noticed about you since working here in the past year and a half is it's good. is that you do like to ask a lot of questions
Yeah.
whenever you don't understand something, and it's not a bad thing. It's just because you want to learn more about it.
Right.
And I'm the same way. I like to ask questions so I can understand something completely. How does that curiosity and openness help kind of foster this office culture that you're looking to continue now that Linda's?
I'm a big believer, and not just because I'm a Georgia Bulldog, but I'm a big believer in you can teach old dogs new tricks. Obviously, I got into real estate at 43.
Yeah.
I became a broker at 50.
Yeah.
So I think it's always being curious, always having that thirst for knowledge and learn something new. And whether it's an experienced agent I'm meeting for the first time or whether it is a brand new agent that just got their license, I tell people, if you have a question that I don't know the answer to, I won't let my ego get in the way and give you some answer that's potentially going to get us in trouble down the line.
Yeah.
I will go to an Ann King or a Josh Cohen or a Tracy Glocko and say, hey, this situation popped up. Can you guys help me with that? And then I'll bring that information back, educate myself, and educate the person who needed the information to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I like to act in the same way. Is I don't want to give somebody false information.
Right.
I don't want to try and make up an answer on the spot, just to not look like stupid.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens a lot of times.
You look good in the short
situations.
term, but not necessarily in the long term.
Yeah, because I mean it will definitely come back and bite you
Yeah.
if you're giving out wrong information. But yeah, I mean it's really important, I think, too, and just again shows how much collaboration we have within our company.
For sure.
What are the most critical elements of helping an agent grow? You know, we talked about how everybody has their own different definition of success. How are you looking to help these agents grow professionally and maybe personally as well?
I think it's offering trainings as we do on a corporate level, but then also offering trainings on a usually a weekly basis in the office. Last week we had a class on how to create reels for Instagram. This week we had a class on the new technology we're offering, the Reel Scout. So we're always trying to, educate, as Ann has said many times, raise the bar of real estate.
Absolutely.
So if it's something that I've heard a lot of questions about, or I see contractually people are having the same kind of hiccups, I'll try to tailor our trainings around that.
Yeah, keeping your ear to the ground.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
it's in social media. It's similar to what I think of like social listening. Whenever I'm keeping an eye out for new content ideas, it's just seeing what's potentially trending. Maybe something's happening exterior to real estate in the whole. Maybe something's happening within the industry, and we can create content out of that. So I think I do similar things like that with listening.
And once you find something that's hitting, run plays that work. Do more of that same thing.
Very true. You mentioned training. I think obviously a very big part of our company, and you hear agents that have been here for multiple years, that are brand new, have left and come back, that our training is bar none compared to others. What kind of training have you offered on a kind of office level and company wide? Because we're kind of unique. You offer training before you became a broker with one of our CRMs as an agent, where you would offer classes to teach people, and then now, I mean, you've even spoke on panels before, and so now as a managing broker, what kind of trainings are you looking to offer?
So Josh Cohen, who is the manager of the Metro offices, and myself, right now we're in the process of putting the class together in January. That's going to touch on prospecting, how to grow your database. We're going to touch on circle prospecting for sale by owners, working with expireds, and we're going to open that up company wide. So we do things like that. And then usually once a quarter, I'll send out an email in and amongst our brokerage, our office, and say, hey guys, what's a couple ideas for classes you would like to see in the next few months? And draw people in like that. Then once you get them in the door, it's a lot of it's mindset.
Yes.
Right? Especially with working with things like expireds and cold calling. Oh, I don't want to call, somebody's going to be rude, and it's getting people to get out of their own head and just take those steps to make it happen.
Yeah. It's a little, the quote I'm going to say is a little deeper than I think it's intended for this situation, but I've heard a great quote. It's actually from all people, Will Smith. All the great things in life are on the other side of uncomfortable. Absolutely. So, I mean, I think it's a nice thing. I always like to keep in the back of my head if I'm hung up on something, or if I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do this, or if that's a nice quote.
Before I got into real estate, I absolutely could not stand talking on the phone. If we cannot handle this in a text, why is it even being discussed? And then I jumped into real estate. I was making 75 to 100 cold calls a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to do it sometimes on the other side of that comfort level.
Amazing. Final question here. As the industry continues to evolve, this year we've seen tons of changes. I mean, the whole industry has been turned 180 on its head. What is your vision for your office, and like what is your vision for your agents in this next year of 2025?
On the office level, I'm always have been ultra competitive person. The beauty of our office, where we are in San Jose Boulevard, I don't see any reason why we are not the go-to place in this whole area, the go-to brokerage, and that is what I want us to be. I get a little angry when I drive around and see other brokerages signs in the neighborhoods around here, but hey, they've got to do business too. I understand that, but I want us just to continue to be the market leaders. I want us to be known as not just luxury leaders, but just leaders in the market. And then for our agents, it's what I can do to help them grow their businesses and have them tell other great agents in and around the area, hey, you've got to come and work with Berkshire because they do so much for us.
Awesome. Well, Thomas, thank you very much
thank you
for doing the video today. That'll cover it for our Workout Wednesday video today. I will put all of Thomas's social media stuff as well as his office's Instagram, Facebook, things like that, so you can go check out all the content that they do put out. They put out some great content, so it's worth going and checking out. But stay on the lookout for our next managing broker that will be coming on in the following week. So until then, take care.
Right on.